someone loves you and they're a fan, getting more of your products, I mean, that's a total win-win. And then the final piece is no one actually knows LoudCrowd exists. We help create experiences that are your own social ambassador communities. So I'm excited today to talk a little bit about how we're working with Lucchese. I'll pass it off to David to give a little background on your brand.
Yeah, awesome. I always like to start off and ask, how many people have heard of Lucchese or Lucchese? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so a few. Yeah, actually, that's more hands than I was expecting to see in New York, but that's awesome. So we're a 140-year-old American heritage brand. We like to say, we are the premier. Don't necessarily like using the term luxury, but that's probably the space we play in as it relates to Western and Western fashion and lifestyle. Cowboy boots are kind of our bread and butter. The Lucchese story, the brand, I mean, it's got such great heritage. Like I said, the story behind it was really the American dream. It was started by Salvatore Lucchese, who immigrated to the U.S. through the port of Galveston, Texas, from Italy, came from a family of shoemakers, and ended up setting up his own shop outside Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas, making boots for the U.S. cavalry. And the rest from there is history. So we have, aside from being a 140-year-old brand, up until recently, we were primarily a wholesale-driven business, really contract manufacturer, selling directly to our wholesale accounts to both big box retailers and local mom and pop shops across the U.S. Over the past couple of years, and really why I came on board was to help shift that business from that wholesale over to direct consumer, where we can really own our own destiny. That was really, the opportunity, I think, really presented itself during the peak of COVID, especially at the beginning when there was a lot of uncertainty. Most of our wholesale accounts were canceling their orders, so we had to downsize our production plant. We're still paying for that now, trying to hire everybody because now demand is crazy and we can't keep up with production. Good problem to have, but still frustrating. And so, so we've shifted in really the last year and a half our business from being probably 10% direct to consumer to about 80, 85. And we've got 18 brick and mortar stores, probably growing 5 or so a year. And then e-commerce is probably our fastest growing channel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what we want to shift towards now is talking about how to create really organic and authentic UGC experiences. For some brands, if you don't have, a really passionate, fan base, customer base, it can be tricky to get user-generated content. If anyone from Charmin is sitting in the audience, I'm not going to lie to you. This probably isn't for you. You should just pay influencers to post about your toilet paper. But if you have customers that actually like your products, there's a greater opportunity. And we call it the 3 R's. It's reach, reward, retain. And so when we talk about reach, this is really key to UGC. 93% of UGC content, actually all content that's created on Instagram and TikTok, is by people that you wouldn't consider influencers. When these people post, they on average have about a 10% engagement rate. That can be 10x higher than influencer content. So this is really powerful stuff. The people that follow them are their friends, their family. It's built-in targeting because their friends kind of look like them. The problem is I can't do a one-on-one collab with someone with 300 followers, right? It's not going to work. We have to be able to activate these people at scale. And that's where reward comes in. To get this content, we need to tell all of your customers something simple. We would love for you to share about us, and we're going to recognize when you do that. We're going to reward you. And when it's an all-customer program, if we're asking everyone, that can be as simple as exclusive single-use discounts or site credit or products, things that they're going to be thrilled by because they get to feel like an influencer. I think many people aspire to have at least that feeling, particularly with their favorite brands. And then the final piece is about retaining these people. We don't want to activate them for just one post. We want to pull them in closer to the brand and let them know that they really are part of our story. So we want to create experiences where they can engage over time. And when we do that and we reward them, they'll post 400% more than they previously would have, and they're also posting and thinking about you between normal purchase cycles. So their LTV is going up because they're posting, thinking about you more, and we're rewarding them with things that actually lead towards more spend. So from here, I'd love to actually talk about the Lucchese program that we're powering. What was some of the background? What was the impetus for wanting to create a program?
Yeah, there's a few things I'd say. First and foremost, I mean, my strategy is let's always tackle the lowest hanging fruit. For us, my hypothesis was, we've been around for 140 years. We probably have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of customers, but we just don't own that relationship yet. And so, our initiative was let's go acquire our own customers. And so we, from a paid standpoint, we're having a lot of success with that. And so we wanted to be able to replicate that on the organic side, and really start owning those relationships with our fans, with our customers. I mean, in addition to that too, I mean, I probably get dozens of emails every single day for paid collaborations. And, while there might be a place for that, I try to steer away from that because they usually end up being a lot less authentic. And, it's really important to us from a brand standpoint to lead with authenticity. And, and for us, the low hanging fruit was starting with our customer base. I was showing Justin earlier. I mean, there's a handful of groups out there on Facebook. For one, I mean, there's a Lucchese enthusiast group. So we don't manage or own that group. I think it has 10,500 people in there, and they're posting hundreds of times a day. I mean, that was the aha light bulb moment for us. Like, wow, there's a lot of enthusiasts out there, and we want to tap into that. And discovering Loud Crowd has been such a blessing.
Awesome. Well, let's show everyone at least a screen grab of the program that we help power. So this lives right on your website, obviously fully branded to you. No one knows Loud Crowd exists. And we've made it really simple. With our analytics, we can see really high value people that were already posting about your brand. So we can actually activate and invite those people and say, hey, would you like to be an ambassador? And it is so simple. It's, hey, sign up, opt in. We need the opt-in for a couple of reasons so that you can reuse the content, content permissions built in, post about us, and we're going to thank you for that. It's that simple. There's no like app, there's no hoops to jump through. They sign up on the page, and that triggers an email that comes from Lucchese that says, hey, thanks, congratulations, you're an ambassador. In your case, because of the importance of authenticity and presenting the right brand image, not just everyone can get into this program. We have other programs where literally every customer gets in. But, with you guys, we want to make sure they've posted about you in the past, and then that really represents the brand. So if someone's accepted, there's an automatic email, and it gives a little bit more guidelines. And, hey, we've loved your past posts. We'd love to see some more awesome stuff. And when you do that, we're going to thank you. You don't get a free pair of $1,000 boots for every post. But if you post about us, over time, you are going to get a free pair of boots because we really appreciate that, and that matters to us. And so that's really the experience that we've helped to build. Let's talk a little bit about the analytics piece. What were you guys doing before we worked with you guys to measure?
Not a lot.
Yeah,
not a lot. And I mean, it was difficult, right? I mean, and it was really hard for me to justify spending. Especially on the influencer side, even the ambassador side. I mean, that's been such a pivotal piece of the Loud Crowd platform is actually being able to measure what this program's doing for us. Because to me, I mean, every spend decision is a trade-off decision. I mean, we kind of take this channel agnostic, full funnel approach, and so we're able to back into this similarly as we do our paid channels. And that's because of the analytics, and they're pretty robust.
Yeah. We didn't build Loud Crowd to be an analytics platform, but if we agree that UGC is really valuable, we want to be able to measure it. We want to be able to show that ROI really directly. So these are the analytics of before we launched the program. I mean, great social presence. This is all organic content that was coming through. But after the program, we had 400% more UGC. The engagement rate shot way up because we're really cultivating those relationships with the highest quality members of your community.
Right.
And so for us, I think in having that really clear vision, and obviously this is just a high level, we go way down into the weeds and making sure we're engaging with the right people and making sure they're appreciated and pulled in close to the brand. But I think that within any spend decision, we need to show a great ROI, and
Right.
that's key. And inherently, if we're not paying people to post and we're gifting them, the ROI is going to be a lot higher, but still needs to be very closely tracked. Talk to me a little bit about what does that authentic post look like? What does that person look like that you want sharing that they love your brand in the ideal world?
It varies. I mean, we have so many different customer segments, right? I mean, and that's been a challenge for us too, on the creative side, because I mean, there's no catch-all for any one of our products. I mean, we have a pretty robust product line too. I mean, everything from boots to outerwear, and a lot in between. Um, there's really not a catch-all there, but that's what I love about this is we're actually able to find who of our customers kind of fit into our personas or customer segments, and get content from there. Hopefully reach other like-minded customers or future customers too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Well, great. I don't know exactly how we're doing on time. I want to make sure we have some time for Q&A and everything. Really quickly, we'll show kind of a GIF of some of the integrated gifting and how we recognize ambassadors. These can be fully automated, so when people are posting, it's not like you're having to keep track of like, oh my gosh, did Joe from the ambassador program get his gift card or his boots? It's
right.
we've built in a lot of automation so that we can have thousands and thousands of people. When they post, they're going to get an email that looks like it came from a community manager thanking them, but it's actually fully automated so that we can create that scale.
And I mean, and speaking to that too, I mean, one of the, when Justin and I were initially talking and before we had onboarded onto the platform, I mean, it was really important to me that this was going to be as low lift as possible. I mean, I've been trying to rebuild an entire team and org really. And I told Justin, it was like, bandwidth is probably our biggest challenge right now. And, what's been amazing is the Loud Crowd team. I mean, it's been fully white glove. They've been an extension of our team. They've taken a serious interest in our business and our brand. They understand it. They know what our standards are, so they can go out and help us recruit our ambassadors, find new ones, manage the existing ones. So that's another part of Loud Crowd, that we love.
Yeah, I think we built a lot of technology that powers all this, and the goal is so that we can focus any actual people hours on the highest value activities, and that's really saying these are the people that we should have an actual personal relationship. Here's who I want to DM, because if we can free up all of the hours that brands typically spend
Right.
mailing out gifts and managing one-off contracts, if we can shift that towards like a real conversation,
Right.
there's a lot of opportunity there, and that's where the highest quality content ultimately will come from.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and we found too. I mean, our customers are delighted when we invite them to the program. I mean, I probably get, I see multiple notifications on LinkedIn a week now. People are excited that they were invited to join the ambassador program. I mean, they're adding it to their LinkedIn profile, which is incredible. I mean, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what's next? How are you going to expand your UGC efforts?
Yeah, so I mean, I still think we are in the early stages here. I mean, to me, this is phase one, and this is tackle low hanging fruit. I think next step, we really want to continue to build this program, our ambassador program. Whether that's creating tiers and partnering with y'all on that. I know we were talking about an experiential component too, and looping that into some of the reward options. So a week ago, we had sponsored an event called Live in the Vineyard Goes Country out in Napa. It's a really exclusive music industry event, and we were able to bring a few of our ambassadors to it. And I mean, it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity and event. And what we found was that the direct engagement with our influence. I mean, they were posting probably 10x what we had asked them to or had even hoped for. And we were able to develop a deeper relationship with them too. I mean, so, going back to your 3 R's, I mean, you've got the retention side. I mean, I think there's a lot there, a lot more opportunity for us. I think we've barely scratched the surface so far.
Yeah, and I mean, your program is pretty exclusive right now. Do you think you guys would be open to something that invites actually all customers. A lot of the brands we work with do that. I know with you guys being a heritage brand, that's not something you will just dive headfirst in on. But
right. I mean, and that's why I think we will create these different tiers, right? Because I think again, there's not a catch-all here for us. I mean, and so we want to make sure there's a seat at the table to being a part of the brand, whether or not you have 100 followers or 100,000. If you're enthusiastic about Lucchese, we want to have a relationship with you, and we want to reward you. And this Loud Crowd enables us to do that and do it really well.
How big is your marketing team right now, or at least the social team's one person?
Two now.
All right.
But no, our whole marketing team, it's 5 doing the job of like 15.
Now, but I wish I could say that was a unique experience, but I can say with working with a lot of brands.
Well, do I get to count Loud Crowd? Because that.
Well, sure. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The marketing teams at some of the most iconic brands seem to be smaller than you would expect. But making a big presence, making a big splash, which is always exciting to help support.
We take a less is more approach, but we can do a more is more too.
More is more. My saying is more is more.
Yeah.
More is more, especially with UGC. Well, awesome, guys. I want to leave some time for some Q&A, and then also at the end, we're going to share a little activation with our tech that we made that everyone can participate in. So let's open it up to see if anyone wants to dive in.
Yeah, I have a question for you. So how do you reconcile the FTC guidelines with your platforms? You are giving something of value to consumers. Are you disclosing that to your ambassadors? Are they disclosing that to consumers, and how do you monitor that process?
Yeah, so with our analytics platform, and that's why the back end is so key to everything we're doing, we can require disclosures, hashtags, all of these things, and we're actually only rewarding for content that meets those guidelines. Every brand works a little bit differently, and we actually work with a lot of brands out of the UK, which need to also be GDPR compliant. And so, brands we work with, like Opali over there, I mean, their program literally has tens of thousands of people. That's where our back-end framework can automate that compliance piece.
Hi there. I work for Farmers Fridge, and we're gearing up to launch an ambassador program. When you guys launched your program, were there any strategies that really worked to help spread the word that it was now open and available?
Yes. So for us, we believe that you should, especially if it's going to be open to everyone, you should email your entire email list and let them know we've got this exciting new program. You also want to do a social post, ideally a story with a sticker that's going to drive people right to that page. From there, I mean, we get to cheat because we get the back data on everyone that's posted about you in the past, and then we can, DM, invite all the past posters as well. That 3-pronged strategy for us is really successful. What we also highly recommend is, create some opportunities right on your website, banners, and particularly post-order confirmation emails, right? Someone's just placed an order. They're excited. It's on the way. Let them know, hey, we can't wait to see you share how much you love the product. And so I think there's a lot of touch points that let people know your job's not done when you place an order. If you love us, we want to see that, and we want to feel, for you to feel like you're appreciated for that as well.
We have a virtual question. How do you monitor the content? Is it machine learning, human, or both?
So the simple answer is it's a combination. So the great news about Instagram and TikTok, so we're doing the raw feed of every time anyone tags a brand. So we don't have like the whole fire hose, but when a brand works with us, we have basically their fire hose. And unlike Twitter and Facebook, it's not like we're dealing with an insane array of content. People go to share their best life on these platforms typically. So from there, we do have the ability to create a lot of automation in how we're monitoring, a lot through the captions and the hashtags. We do have some machine learning, but for brands that are giving away high value rewards, we have a very streamlined back-end manual review that can be activated to make sure, in Lucchese's case, the product has to be visible. And, we've got some, image recognition software that can do that, but it's just, I'm going to be honest, it's not quite there. And we just want it to be pretty airtight, especially if we're giving away $500 gift cards. So that's where we've got a very streamlined, but a manual review that can be implemented when needed.
Thanks for all the info. I'm wondering if you could touch on how you use the content that people post. Is it just letting them tell their fans, or are you bringing any of those in as reposts or on your website?
So to me, it's a combination of two. I have two goals with this. One is expanding our reach. Obviously, especially with your new iOS updates and what that's done to the paid side and being able to target. This is an effective way to reach some of the audiences, or many of the audiences, really, that you're wanting to. The other side is content. As a lifestyle and fashion brand, content is really important to us, and we've got a healthy budget, but not extremely healthy, and so we do have to rely on some UGC, and so there again, when I was saying tiers, there probably our higher tier would be content that we could use in some of our at least social ads, but I've had some come in and say, this would be an awesome billboard, this would be an awesome print ad. So we do have a lot of that. So but those would be the two at the primary.
Oh, done with questions? Yeah. Okay. Well, oops, sorry. Let me go to our final thing, which is the opportunity for you guys to see our sort of drinking our own champagne, as Lacey would say. This QR code will take you to an experience, an ambassador type experience, but for Loud Credit at the event. With our tech, if you tag us, particularly in a story, you're going to automatically get a thank you generated from our platform, and you're going to be entered to win a $1,000 Lucchese gift card. So if you like what you see here, we don't have any women's wear. That was on the cover page.
I don't know if y'all know.
Yeah, be sure to tag us and any of your content, and you'll get to experience a little bit what it's like when what our ambassadors experience when they're posting and sharing about the brands that they love. So thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you coming.